What's going on, everybody? This is Afro Think Tank. Today, I want to talk to the POCs, specifically the Asians. The Asians. If you're black, you can keep listening to this, because I'm sure you'll agree with me. See, just recently, in the California Los Angeles newspaper, there was an article that came out that said, the Asian guy that been campaigning to get rid of affirmative action because he believes that Asian people who are superior intellectually, as far as he's concerned, are being discriminated against, because those people are letting those inferior black folks into the schools. And they partner with white people because Asian people, for some reason, not all of them, I know it's not all, but for the most part, they truly embrace being the model citizen, right? Because culturally, they're coming from such a different angle, most people don't even understand, right? I understand that angle. Like in their countries, especially these Chinese, in these countries, they compete with each other with their children. They live vicariously through their children by trying to put their children in special schools, make them as great as possible so they can show off to their peers, right? So these Asian people, these elite Asian people who have the money to come over here, mainly Chinese, who have the money to come over here, they feel entitled because they feel like their children are the most smartest children on the planet. And no one could possibly be smarter than them. They're supposed to get into these elite schools, these highly elite schools in America, right? And since they don't get their way 100%, they decided, what the issue is? The reason why we're not getting in? It's those black people, right? They copped out. They picked their low-hanging fruit. And, when this whole thing was going on, since the Republicans been basically taking away rights since they been in charge or had any type of semblance of power, we're talking about with the judiciary in the House and all that. They took away rights from half the population, women. They going back on civil rights legislation, Jim, all that. That's what they're doing. But you know what? With this one, normally black people, we protest about stuff like that. But this time we was quiet. We was chilling. We were like, all right, Asian people. You think you're special? Go right ahead. Matter of fact, go right ahead. We ain't going to say nothing. We're going to let it slide. Because here's the thing. Here's the real thing. You see, in the pretend world, we all like to pretend we live in. That a lot of people, white people, coon black people, and these POCs who want to be model citizens, what they believe in this fantasy of America. They believe in this fantasy that if they just do what white people want, which is be on their side against black people in every aspect of society, that they can be part of the club, right? So these Asian people who strategically are trying to make moves to improve, to benefit their children and family, so they can talk shit to their Asian peers about how their children are so much better than their children, because that's culturally what they do. They do that. That's a thing, okay? They end up putting their foot in their ass and they don't even realize it. Black people were chilling. You know why? Because, like I said, in the fantasy world that they like to live in, Asian people are the smartest people on the planet. Asian people are better at everybody than math. They're superior intellectually. Everybody knows it. And by default, they clearly should get into all the elite classes, all the elite schools. In the real world, Asian people are not smarter than anybody. There's smart people in the Asian community like there's smart people in any other community. In the real world, when they come to America, they're competing with other smart immigrants, like the Africans, who are doing better than them, like black women, who are doing better than them, and black men, when the ones that's in college, that's not being incarcerated or set up, because, the system is made to disenfranchise the black man, because we're too powerful, right? They'll allow black women to become powerful, because they're still women at the end of the day, as far as the white male, Christian male is concerned, right? But black men, we're super intelligent. Every day you hear some genius black boy, some genius African. Look, listen, in the real world, black people are the geniuses. We know we're geniuses. We knew that affirmative action was not to allow us in schools because we were black and we didn't have the education. What we knew affirmative action was, we knew we were so smart that we deserved to be in the schools, but because we were black, we weren't allowed, because white people didn't want us in their clubs, their institution. They didn't want us to have that advantage, to be in the club of the Harvards and the Yales and all that stuff. They didn't want that, right? So we knew that the colleges when we get into is because we're intelligent. We know we're intelligent. We know we don't need affirmative action anymore. See, that's one thing we knew we didn't know. We didn't need anymore. We never really needed. Affirmative action was to stop biased, racist white people from denying us, even though we qualify. You understand? So plenty of black people qualify. We weren't tripping. We knew what was going to happen. We told you, Asian people, what was going to happen. We was like, as soon as you do this, they're going to say, fuck you. And that's exactly what they did. White America has no loyalty to you Asian people. White America does not like you Chinese people. Like, the part that blows my mind is that America actively talks shit about your homeland, China. Actively talk shit. Actively disenfranchise your country. They are now actively destroying your economy. Actively. They're actively doing it. Yet, the Chinese people that come over here, because they don't like their country, they have reasons. They have plenty of good reasons not to like China. I mean, China's fucked up, man. If you really pay attention to China, how the people live in China, it's fucked up. Right? They're slaves. All those people are slaves in China, to be honest. Except for the ones that got enough money. But even the ones that got the money are slaves for real. They step out of line. They say just the right word. They done. All right? But now that affirmative action has been lifted, these Asian people, they thought that they were just going to be floating with them and the white guy. They were just going to be in college. It was going to be a white, because they white, right? They white with hippocampus eyes. Those Chinese people, right? The ones that's doing all the complaining, all right? They thought it was going to be a sea of pale skin up in there, right? But guess what? More of them didn't get in. You know what they have to come to in the real world? In the real world, Nigerians and Africans come over here are out competing them. The other immigrants who come over here on the visas, they get into college with those programs. Other immigrants who are black are smarter than your children that's not getting in. Your children are not that smart. They're not as smart as y'all think they are. They're not supernaturally elite. No. It's an average, just like anybody else. With the opportunity, they get to a certain level of opportunity, get a certain level of curriculum, they can be smart. Some people are intelligent, some people are not. There's a large majority of Africans who are so intelligent, we're like, fuck it, go ahead. Get rid of it. Go ahead. We don't need affirmative. We didn't need affirmative action to, bolster us. We're not stupid. We're super smart. We invented all this shit that you're fucking using. How about that shit? How about that? But nobody ever actually takes that into consideration how absolutely ridiculously, insanely intelligent us African Americans and Africans are. We don't need that shit. You needed that shit. White women needed that shit. They're not gonna let more of you Asian people in there. All the Asian people that's in college, that make it into these elite universities, guess what? They deserve to be there because they meet the criteria. They meet the criteria. And white people, they have their quota of Asians who meet the criteria. So they don't need all you extra Asians that's leaving even the Asian world. They don't need all you extra Chinese that's leaving your communist country because they control you. You want to come to America where it's free. I mean, you want to have all the benefits that the elite white people have, and you think if you just talk shit about black people, that these elite white people are going to allow you into the elite circles. They don't give a fuck about none of you Chinese people. They don't like you. You're a pet. You are a wedge in between them and their arch enemy, which is black people. That's all you are. You're a tool to be put in between them and black people. But y'all ain't figured that shit out yet because your pride and ego and your cultural practice got y'all looking like fools out here. Now y'all struggling. Now y'all entitlement, right? To think that just because you Chinese and you got one of your kids got a 4.0, you think he can get in these elite universities? You know how many black African Americans and Nigerians and Cameroonians and Ethiopians and South Africans and all these African people come over here got 4.0s and more and higher with all sorts of accreditations? You can't touch them. And it's more of us. So if you percentage wise, y'all really can't compete. You fucked yourselves. You should have left affirmative action. You could have used that as a vehicle to get your people in. But your ego and and the fact that you still want to capitulate to white power. You still want to be a coon, Asian coon for the white man. You still want to be next to him. You still think that he has he don't have no respect for you. The only thing he wants from you is your women. That's the only thing the Asian man want is your damn woman. That's it. Other than your woman, he don't want shit from you. You sit right over there and be a good citizen and make his fucking fortune cookies so he can go get Chinese and eat that. Call you guys Chinese, even though half y'all not Chinese, but they gonna call you Chinese because that's how much they give a fuck about you. You're all Chinese. You Asian, you got like this? Chinese, period. Don't matter where you from. That's how much they give a fuck about you, where you from, and what you about. But anyway, yeah. You people, and guess what? We don't got your backs on this one. Nope. Nope. You did the shit, you undo the shit. Now you better, all you Asian people better get out there and start campaigning that you need affirmative action because you see that you are being discriminated against because of the color of your skin, even though it's the same color as them for the most part, but before the hippocampus of your eyes. And now y'all need to fight and start a revolution to get some daggum help to get into college. Y'all need some extra help because you're being discriminated against by the white people. That's what you need. Right? But look, some of you Asian people, y'all just not smart enough. Y'all just don't meet the cut. You're just not good enough. That's what it is. There's a lot of people that ain't good enough to go to these elite universities. And there's a lot of Asian people, along with a lot of black people, white people, who just ain't good enough to get into these universities. And you Asian people, some of y'all are just not good enough to get into university. And you're not entitled to get into the university just because you're Asian and the stereotype is you guys are automatically smart. That's some shit white people made up, right? To piss off black people. Think about it. You've been a tool. White people have used you guys as a tool just to fight black people. That's it. They're afraid of us. They're not afraid of y'all. Understand that. But so yeah, we sitting back because we still getting in college. The same number of us are still going to college. The same number of us are still being accepted into the same universities that you think that we getting into because we're black and they feel sorry for us. That's what you think? We don't have a problem. You got a problem. Now you got to deal with it. That's all I got to say. It's Afro Think Tank. Learn some, teach them. I'm out.